This week on Monday, we celebrated World AIDS Day. Tonight in studio, we are joined by Jerry Hughes, the founder and executive director of the Hughes Foundation, which is a non-profit organization providing hope for people affected by HIV/AIDS around the world. Jerry founded the Hughes Foundation in 2004 after being diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
Yeah, lovely having you all the way from overseas. Third time in the country.
Yes.
How has it been?
It has been wonderful. Everyone, including yourself, are so nice and fabulous. So I appreciate the hospitality in Namibia.
All right, Hughes Foundation, for those that don't know about the name, for those that didn't hear about it yet, just a brief background about the foundation.
Well, basically, I started the Hughes Foundation in 2004 after being infected with HIV myself. It just came out of a passion, and I wanted to do something, make a difference in the world for those who are affected by HIV, because we're all affected in essence. But I really, when I was diagnosed, I heard that there was 40 million people living with HIV, but I didn't know one person. And so I knew I wanted to do something to make a difference, but I didn't know what to do. So I started the Hughes Foundation. We had relationships in India. We had relationships in Namibia. And so we decided to take our passion and our vision to India and here in Namibia. And we also do work in the U.S. through high schools and prevention courses. And we have a school in India for 80 children who are affected by HIV.
You're quite around.
Yeah.
When it comes to Namibia, what have you done this far in our country?
This far in Namibia, I do a lot of speaking, a lot of showing the face of who, what HIV looks like, because I think that there's so many HIV and AIDS organizations in Namibia already doing a lot of work. The last thing I want to do is come and set up shop, hand out medication, but not really make a difference in the lives of people. And I think that one thing we're really missing is hope around HIV. I think people are looking for to get rid of this fear. And so for right now, I'm doing a lot of speaking, sharing my story on different radio stations and newspapers and whatnot. And there's an orphanage that has kind of tugged at my heart a little bit that we'd like to partner with here in Namibia as well.
All right, just to highlight the word fear and stigma, they always go hand in hand. And not many people like you want to come out in the public and say, look, I am infected with the virus. As you say, you can never tell by looking at someone. Having given the speeches, motivational speeches, and speaking to the public, how has the feedback been? Well, what kind of sense do you actually get when it comes to, let's say, the Namibian context when you say that and so on?
Actually, I've really had a good, really good feedback from everyone in Namibia, because I think that I make it come across very simple, very easy, and I talk about the 4 ways you can contract HIV and the millions of ways you can't contract HIV, and you'll be amazed at how many people don't know the 4 ways you can get HIV and the many ways you can't. And so knowledge is power. And so when I present my story, I put a face to HIV, but I also want to make sure that everybody who's listening and hearing what we're saying has the knowledge to go forward without fear. Because it paralyzes you. It paralyzes us as a country and as a world, and it ultimately leads us into behaviors, I believe, that cause people to get HIV.
Comparing to a couple of years ago, I mean, we're now open with it. We speak about it freely. We also distribute condoms, and we also talk about safe sex as well. Going around, the whole world tour as well. Namibian context, especially, we have been given methods and ways. But speaking from a point of view where you're affected with it, your best advice to the public?
Honestly, we can talk about condoms, we can talk about safe sex, we can talk about abstinence, we can talk about all those things. But ultimately, my experience has been that if you love yourself, the reason I actually ended up in the situation I'm in is because I hated who I was. I hated how I looked. I have a very rough background and the road that I took that led me to HIV to begin with. But what I want people to really come across, or leave with, is to love themselves. To love yourself enough to say, you know what, no, I'm not gonna have sex without a condom, or I'm just not gonna have sex at all, or I'm gonna wait to have sex, when I'm married, or I'm not gonna get into the drug use, or whatever it is. For people to really love themselves and to be safe, and to love yourself enough that you end up in a situation where you need to use a condom, make sure you don't let somebody, don't have sex without it. Just don't do it. Really don't do it. It's a death sentence. And so love yourself enough and your future.
All right, and I thank you for the confidence as well. And even for those that are watching, for those that probably feel, what, hey, I mean, this one had, the guts to do so. Any contact details, I think even if you share a problem with someone or need advice from yourself on a more personal level,
you can go to our website. Our website is hughesfoundationinc.org, and I know it's long.
We'll have it on the screen.
Yeah, you'll have it on the screen. And so go to our website, email me. I will definitely email you back right away. And email anything. I like to talk about anything.
Okay. When will you be back?
I have a feeling I'll be back. Usually I come back every November and December, but I have a feeling I'll be back before then.
Oh, hey. All right.
And I have a lot of people who are trying to get me to come here full time. Yeah. And we're looking at houses.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and continue doing the great work
that you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, then.
Thanks.